We on?
Yeah, we're live.
We're back.
Happy birthday, Sagitarius. Let's see. Give us a second. It's a slight delay when we sign on, so we made a couple improvements to the set. We got light now, y'all. Okay. Hold on for 1 second. Live on Facebook. Live on YouTube. Do I need to send you a link to get or no?
Yeah.
I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Little happy holidays. Happy holidays. Today is November the 26th. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. Again, today is the 26th of November 2021. Welcome to God is in You with Kim and Tia live on Friday. Today, I'm here to update you guys on your numbers for this particular year. Give me 1 second so I can see comments. Sagittarius, y'all one of my favorite signs. I'm gonna tell y'all why, because my moon is in Sagittarius. So it's important, guys, to get your find out the time that you were born and get your birth chart done. I know we talked about it last week. We probably gonna say it every week until you get the birth chart done, because you're gonna see how interesting each and every one of you are for real. Like, we two councils, but we real different, but a lot alike. Her moon happened to be in Sagittarius as well, and my moon's in Sagittarius. So want you guys to go to cafeastrology.com and put your birth charts in, or either AstroSeek. But let me update you, Sagittarius, today on what's going on for your year for this year.
Hey, y'all. Happy gobble day after. Sleepy day.
Let's see. This year, you guys will be dealing with contracts, marriage, and meditation. There is a blending of minds now, a harmony on the mental plane that seeks to bring ideas to a common meeting ground. Contracts and agreements that have been pending can be settled and fairly. I'm sorry, and fairly weighed out. Well, I can't read tonight, y'all. I'm sorry, I ain't handing a drink. I promise. Okay, contracts and agreements that have been pending can be settled and fairly, with both sides gaining equally. Your cooperative attitude creates an atmosphere of happiness and harmony. Worthwhile friendships will form and bring personal fulfillment. This is a vibration of love. For some, it brings love affairs. For others, engagement and marriage. There is also a meditative period in which you will be urged to give form to your inner feelings. Beauty appeals to this sense of harmony that you are experiencing now. Time spent alone should be used to get in touch with those inner feelings and to bring them out where others can appreciate them. Begin to develop any creative talent that you possess. Since the key words now are love and cooperation, you will encounter situations in which these qualities must be exercised. Do not allow misunderstandings to lead to separations. Then this meditative aspect of this cycle will degenerate into loneliness. Seek peace through understanding, and you will benefit from any contacts you now make. I'm sorry. And that's for your year, Sagittarius. So if you guys have any questions about that or want to know, and things also will be different if you have a mate involved, and that's just your personal energy. So if you want to know anything about your mate's energy or your energy together, then you can contact us at I think it's at evolvingequation@gmail.com. That's one of them. We gotta get another email.
Okay.
Okay.
We're doing better.
Okay. Okay, so I had another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. We wanted to talk about, do a brief recap about 2020, a lot of things went on. A lot of people were really saying, "Oh, I can't wait for 2021 to get here." And it's like things did get better, but it's always energy attached to everything, to our name, to our birthday, to everything, to everything. Energy is everywhere. So I want to break down what 2020, the energy behind the 2020 was a 4. And when you're dealing with a number 4, let's see, give me 1 second, guys. When you're dealing with a number 4, you're dealing with form, you're dealing with work, you're dealing with order, practicality, construction, stability, endurance, and discipline. And those were a lot of the energies that we had to encounter in 2020. So now that we're in 2021, I'm going to give you a brief description of some of the energies that we dealt with in 2021. Okay. In 2021, we dealt with a lot of versatility, resourcefulness, adaptability, change, activity, travel. We finally got a chance to travel. I know I did. Oh my God, I was so happy. Adventure, promotion, and also speculation. So, what if
Yes, I did.
Really 5. I did say 5.
You really said that.
No, I'm reading 5.
Okay. I was in her business because we got to clean up Scorpio. So I'm just trying to make sure we don't have to do a lot of cleaning. Okay, go.
I'm sorry, Scorpios. I'm playing. It was a test. I was cleaning up. I promise. Okay, so listen. I think that was the first part I wanted to talk about. Was just telling happy birthday, Sagittarius. I wanted to tell you guys about the energy that you guys was dealing with, and I also want to tell you about the 2020 and also about the 2021. So, I think Kim ready to talk to you about some stuff.
No, you got to clean up Scorpio. You got to. Sorry.
Okay, well, give me a second, y'all, because I didn't know I was going to do it on this one. Scorpios, I love y'all. Just give me a second. Okay, well, let me say this. Oh, I already did it. I want to tell you. Last week, it should have been a 35, okay? So let me tell you what. This Sagittarius. If any Scorpio, listen, I tell you what. If any Scorpio want to know what's going on with them, just contact me. Send me, inbox me, or a message, and I'll fix it. Because this Sagittarius season ain't gone.
But even though it's Sagittarius season, and normally, like, worldwide, like the U.S., they say that New Year's is January the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, your New Year is your birthday.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep nudging her to clean up it, because their birthday is here, and that's the beginning. So that's for the whole year.
Okay.
Even though we're in Sag season. Hello, Sagittarius. I like y'all. I like y'all brain.
How you gonna say you like them? Your moon is Sagittarius, so oh, well, that's all right. So you like them? Okay,
yeah, I do.
Let me mind my business. Okay. Said Scorpio. Scorpio. Okay. The energy you guys are going to be dealing with preparedness, strength, inheritance, recognition, and business. Okay. So this is a period where almost anything can happen. You should be prepared for whatever comes. The demand is toward more responsibility and discipline. You will need to use your stored energy source. You may be prompted and therefore have to withstand more pressure and more work. The honors bestowed now reflect past efforts. This is also a money vibration, and job advancement usually means an increase in salary. However, inheritance also come under a 35-8. So this is another source of money. Let's see. The pressures of this period will affect your health only if you work and worry too much. Allow sufficient time for rest, follow careful eating habits, and relegate the demands of the material world to their proper place. Your health can improve through the exciting demands placed upon you. You will never feel more alive. So use the tremendous vitality this period has to offer you. Get the job done, whatever the job happens to be, Scorpio. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
Scorpio. I like y'all. My rising sign is in Scorpio, so that's what y'all actually think I am when you first meet me. But I'm a Cancer, definitely that. So okay,
You said it like it was. See how you breathe when you said it? You was like, I'm a Cancer. Is that bad?
no, fuck with Cancer. I'm a Cancer. I fuck with Cancer.
But you heard how you breathe. You was like, I'm a Cancer.
But when y'all said it done, we boil it on down. I'm a Cancer, not fuck with Cancer. It's not a sign that I want to be. Like I want to be a Cancer. Yeah, I want nothing that's but a Cancer. Like I fuck with it. Like I mean.
Wine and look how she took it.
Okay then, well, on to the topic of tonight's session. We're going to be talking about raising kids from our parents' perspective and our perspective and to now, because most of us now are grandparents. I should say grandkids, but grandparents. So we're going to do the history aspect of it first, and then we're just gonna start just talking about where it fit in and where it don't. Okay, aha. We're gonna have a lot of aha moments. So I've been on the internet, y'all. So let's start with our parents. Any parent that was born between 1927 and 1946, that was our parents. They call it the silent generation or the greatness generation. So their parenting was based on the economy being unstable and unstable economy and a hustle mentality. So what they did was that's why you get our parents who just like, no, we gotta work, we gotta build a better foundation for our family and our kids. So that's why you always be like, Mama did all this. She worked 13 jobs and still came home and worked home. But it also what they call my mom called my kids that. And I never knew it till I did the research online. Latchkey kids. So there was kids that stayed at home that really had to learn how to be self-sufficient. So you stayed at home, probably like, back in the day, your mama say, don't open this door for nobody. I gotta work and you better not open this door. When you go home, go in the house for from school, after school programs, whatever. So that's where you get latchkey kids from. But the crazy part is when I was reading on the internet, now I see how love was equated into working because they in on the generational the silent generation, which is our parents, they said that love, if you didn't work, you didn't love, that was a form of not showing that you didn't love your family. So now I can see now since I read it how people equate like, nah, he don't love me. And normal people would be like, oh well, if he ain't give you nothing, that's when you get like all the gold diggers and all that. If he ain't give you nothing, you don't care. But it came from our parents, which they twisted, you know what I mean? They twisted it a lot. So okay, now we have with my generation Xers. It's the year of 1965 to 1980. So we were more in like the stock market. So now I see now why I started playing with the stock market and try to teach my kids about the stock market. Don't worry about it. I still don't know anything about the stock market, but I do have money in the stock market. Whatever that means, it just sits there. But and that was the generation too where you had the serial killers, you know. So you be like, oh, man, a kid, everybody. It's just the generation that we living in. You know what I mean? So, and then it was crazy too because there was the high spike of divorces. Like it was a big thing, like in that generation of divorces. And it made me think when I was reading, like, dang, is this why people coming from being raised by the silent generation and coming to our generation, and the voices in spite, it probably could came from everybody out, the parents out in the street working hardest. I don't know what, to the point that they realize that I really don't like you like that or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? But guess what? I'm gonna ask my mom. So I'll probably come back and tell y'all next week. But it said also that we give our kids more free range of trying to, we don't hover, we don't hover, because I'm from the South, I'm sorry. We don't hoover over them and be like, okay, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. It's more like, I'm going to tell you what I need for you to do, and I'm going to let you go out there and do what you need to do, and hopefully you get it right. But if you don't, I'm going to dial it back, reaffirm you, but I'm not going to be like, well, didn't I tell you this? Didn't I tell you that? As far as like our parents, like if I got to tell you 130 times, I'm going to beat you 130 times. So that was it. Then by us now is we raise our own kids. It was the millennium kids. And the crazy part is I never knew about none of these until the millennium kids came. And now that I did research, it's X after that, Y and Z. So they went all the way back to A. But anywho, so the millennium kids are kids from 1980 to 1981 to 1996. And basically, they are kids that are non-controlled childhood. Whatever you learn, like we learn from, I generate extras. We probably got out a lot of our things from learning from television. Sorry, I didn't mean to call it television. I don't want to offend nobody. Television. Sorry, that's a television. But the millennium, they learned a lot from the internet. And the internet being so fast paced, and it's like you're not learning like television. They might show you like in California or something. But when you're dealing with the internet, you can go look at how people was raised in Japan and all over. So it come fast. So with the millennium, they had no books, no nothing, straight from the internet. Whatever they learned it straight from the internet. And they chose the way that they want to. Now that's just like a broad history of where we came from parenting and where we're supposed to be now. So now we're gonna get into the storytelling of how when we thought about the topic, my main thing is how from yesterday of Thanksgiving, my mom asked my daughter, she said, how old you is Destiny? You 18 yet? So Destiny like, no. But me knowing my mom, she like, my daughter got the lashes, she got the hall to top shirt on. So I know my mom was like, you doing all this at 17? So it made me be like, let's talk about how the parenting shift to, it doesn't matter that my daughter has on the lashes in the house to top, because I want her to get in tune with self, like be confident with you. So what do you think? I'm sorry. Why
I'm laughing at you with this, your mom and this, and with this tank top lashes.
Oh yeah, you know better than
Because you
not like
read
that.
all into,
Yes.
like, how old are you? But I know you ain't talking, because my nephew, you had on
Little bit
you had on
short.
some real short shorts. Yeah. High
Baby.
chair, the baby high chair. The baby high chair.
Baby, I'll find it.
Over by the TV.
I'm fine now. Baby, that thing was sitting right.
Okay, so
It don't matter. Like, because of the simple fact, I say that for seriously, because of the simple fact, that come with confident level to me. Seriously, because I couldn't wear shit. So then when I was like, Kim, there's nothing wrong with your shade. There's nothing wrong. Wear the shit. Just be more. Well, I guess I'm more classier now, because at first it's like, let it hang. But it looked cute. That was the Rockaway days, girl. Rockaway and Baby Fat. What? Okay, go, friend.
No, you was something about the story of the kids. Oh, but I guess I can relate with I have a baby that was, I think I'm X, and I got one of my kids is like in the Y generation, and I think
Yeah.
I think somebody in the Z, but I can tell you what my
Yeah.
youngest.
1924, 25.
Okay, I got two in Z, y'all. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm X. I
Mhm.
got I got my oldest son. He's in Y, and when I tell you my Y, he don't give me no problems. He real cool. You know, he kind of like he old school. You can tell he got an old spirit. My generation Z babies. Oh my God. I love all of them, but they are baby. They was it was something different. I think my youngest even remember one of his past lives. So
Yes.
he questioned me on God. So can you imagine like a 3-year-old coming to you and they questioning you, oh God, and you ain't even figured this shit out yet.
But that was
So
the Z.
yeah, so that's how he was. He
Yes.
was, always alert, always just aware and knowing.
Yes.
So, but I can say, I'll also say that with all that being said, the moral of it is that you can't raise all of the kids alike,
Yeah.
or
No,
our
that's true.
parents who raised us couldn't raise our babies just like they raised their children,
Yeah.
because it's a different time.
Yeah.
And meaning that you have to take the time to learn like what little spirit that don't usher
Mm-hmm.
in, that don't came in through you.
Yeah.
So you just can't think that because you got one that's smart and straight A's, and you have another baby and you just think, oh, they gonna just love to read and excel too. No, it could be something totally different. He may not like school, could be very creative, but it's just your job as a parent to learn,
Yeah.
and to know who it is you're dealing with, so that you can help that baby love it and help it become its full potential.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing now that a lot of things that we experience in this day and time is that a lot of us are not healing from past hurt. Past hurt is it's like a disease, and if you don't work through it, you just grow, and it just what's that word?
Fester.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
outlet. It
Yeah.
just and it just get worse.
Especially if you hide it and it come up unexpectedly because you think you got over it, but you actually didn't. And if you let it leave, if you let you, like, I'm holding on to it like it's a badge of honor, like I don't care, my childhood was like this and that, like it can. So it's best to face it and heal it, because it'll help you be able to heal and deal, because you're dealing with relationships. Like I told my kids, parenting them, like you dealing with none when you at home with your other brothers and sisters, your parents. That's a relationship. That's your first relationship. Being intimate or non-intimate, that's your first relationship that you have. So you have to. That's the first. People always tell you that your relationship is the first one you have, your intimate one, but it's not. It be the relationship that you have at home and how you communicate. Cause that open doors of how to communicate with people.
That mom, especially.
Yeah, exactly.
So that mama relationship, daddy important too, but mama is like first love. I can't, mama gotta be first love. You think about it, y'all. That's the first person you come through. I mean, she's nurturing you as, huh?
I don't believe.
Okay, here I come.
I don't believe. I don't believe like. I don't believe.
You don't think the mom was the first love?
No, because of the simple fact. Because see what they have done was, because the mom holds the baby in the stomach for 9 months. That's the baby, but that's that mama baby. But the crazy part is to keep an even balance, even without getting to the point if the dad gonna be there, what the dad gonna do. Just to keep a balance. I can't have no baby. I'm not having what I call Mary Joseph baby. I gotta have a baby with a person. So I can't have that baby without this man's sperm. Even though I'm holding this baby for 9 months, I'm more attached and in tune because it's inside of me. You feel me? I can't be like, well, the baby should love me or the baby might love me more. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't mean that way.
Oh, okay.
I just meant, well, I'm just, when I said that, I mean like most of the times the mother is the one that is carrying the baby.
Mm-hmm.
She's also the one that's, you know what I'm saying, that is nurturing and loving the baby. Most moms anyway who okay. Every mama ain't a good mama, so you got some stuff to work through. So I'm just gonna say most normal mothers, they love their babies, and when their baby is born, they nurture and they care and they won't let nothing hurt their child. So when I think about love and bonding, I think that in some cases the mother is the first real relationship that you have with somebody because of the womb. Okay. You connected to this person. Okay. But I do know that some mamas don't want to be pregnant, some mamas crazy and they don't love it. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot of shit going on, but that's why I said most normal people. Yeah. And if you think about even that mother who is not being nurturing is causing an issue already before that baby get here. Yeah. Which brings us back to that hurt that we're talking about, back to the abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? So it's all back to that root. And
yeah, but just to tell a story on my end, like I was selfish. First of all, I didn't want kids, so I had Gus, right? But you know that I didn't want Destiny. I didn't want another baby. That's the first thing. And I didn't want a girl. Definitely, because I was so in the streets. So I was like rough. So I was like, no, I don't want a girl. You know what I mean? But me, that's why I can relate when you just said the bonding in the stomach, and some parents don't, because for a long time carrying her, I'm like, no, I'm leaving her on her father's steps. No, I don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? To the point where it's like one day, I know 52, and I was like, girl, cut it out. The baby's gonna be here. Learn to love your baby. But it was so much energy. I'm thinking I'm like 7 or 8 months in. It was so much negative energy that I transferred to this baby, to my baby. You know what I mean? So when she came home, when she finally got here, and all the energy that she was showing, I couldn't help but to be like, you gave her most of this energy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so my patience came in a whole lot, because I'm like, well, for 8-7 months, you ain't do what's right. You feel me? Because I'm still stuck on self. I'm like being very selfish. Like, no, I don't want kids. I'm not gonna deal with this baby. Da, 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 da. So when I transfer that energy, I had to be patient. Still to this day. Now, she's 17 now. You know what I mean? Still to this day, I have to still guide and parent her with a lot of patience and caring, so I can make, not amends, so I can make sure that that energy don't sit and fester. So I can make sure that, okay, we're gonna do it best we can, because I transfer this energy to you, and I don't want her to hold on to
exactly. It. But you know, but a lot of parents, they don't, and because we're not aware, because even with my middle son, like I was young. I think I was like 22 when I had my second son, and my mom already had my first son. I think I had my first baby when I was like, I think 17. I was in 12th grade when I had Kawan. And by the time when I was pregnant with Munchie, I didn't know what to do. And I was really scared. So I wasn't ready to be a parent the second time. But because of those thoughts I had and the energy I had, just being scattered everywhere, when my son was born, his personality is just the way I was when I was pregnant. Matter of fact, all three of my sons, their personality is just the way it was when I was pregnant with them. My first son, he chill, he cool, he still cartoon, sleep, just don't piss him off. My second son, Munchie just everywhere sometimes. You know, he was trying to figure it out. He just everywhere.
Yeah.
And my third son, he like this little, oh my God. My third son like a little hustler. He want to play and everything. He just, he just a little, he's more aware. So that's what I'll say. But so our moms and dads, give the kids take the time to know that every child is different.
Yeah.
You can't raise all on the same, none of them the same. Don't expect Jermaine to be like Gus, just because they got the same it ain't gonna work.
No.
Jermaine cut his own way,
Yeah. Pay attention to the kids to see how I did my parents. I looked at my kids to see what they need from me as parents. What can I give you as a parent versus me having this itinerary already? Like, I'm a parent like this, I'm a parent like this. It just like both of my kids, they needed parenting different. And with my son, his parenting was very laid back. Like, he did the typical, I'm gonna mess up in school, I'm gonna get on him. But he didn't really, when my son Gus turned 18, that's when I had to really learn to parent him. Because now I'm thinking, okay, well, I wasn't even thinking, I can't say that. But I probably was expecting. He turned 18, I don't have to parent like that because he was a good laid back kid. But when he turned 18, it was a different side of Gus that I knew he had hid, because I used to say, bro, you don't never let nothing out. He was like, because for what? But when he did let it out and started, when his, I don't know if it's rage, I wouldn't say rage, when his more intense discipline part came out, I'm like, oh my God. And it made me dial back because my parenting was like, oh my God, we can't talk. So it was like, bruh, you gotta go. And at 18, I'm like, why are you putting your kid out at 18? And I'm like, well, he 18, he fucking up already. And he waits till he got 18. Then I had to remember being at home a couple times crying, like, you got to learn how to continue parenting him at 18. And so, because one thing about parenting, it never goes away. Like, as long as the kids are here and you are here on earth, it never goes away.
Hi,
hey.
Hey, baby.
So it's like the parenting, you gotta pay attention to the kids and what they need versus it ain't no handbook, it's just a suggestion. Pay attention to the kids and give them what they need versus what you think is going to set them up to be successful on earth.
Yeah, and then also I was gonna say too, parents, don't be hard on yourself when you have did everything you can to give your kids the best advice and they go the opposite direction.
Yes.
I'm here to let you know that I went the opposite direction. My people was looking at me like, what the what is going on?
Me too.
So I don't even think
I think that probably when I read a generation, we were gonna go to Generation Xers. We were going
the other way.
Yes, we were going the other way. Like, yeah, because remember, we are the generation that we had to be self-reliant in the house on our own latchkey. So really it's a blend of, now I see how we get the millennials. You feel me? Because we at home, we got to figure it out and what we need to do, and we at home by ourselves. So we really, the parents took care of the bills and stuff. But we really raised
ourselves. Because let me tell y'all, by the time I got out of high school, I had never seen drugs before. Y'all had never seen crack before. This is how sheltered I was. I wasn't allowed to go to no parties.
Yes.
You know, if I wanted to go to a party, my grandma was like, we'll have you a party here. So it wasn't no spending the night nowhere. So drugs, none of that type of stuff. I think the most exciting thing that happened to me when I was a child was probably seeing the postman always rings twice, the little sex scene. That was so exciting. That was my first time knowing that my body just went. The postman always rings twice. You remember that one? I'm sorry,
No, I'm glad I don't. Girl, I'm devastated. 'Cause I'm like, what is that? It's a movie?
It's a movie with I think Jack Nicholson and I forgot the lady name. It's
Oh no, I never
lady.
seen it.
Okay. Okay, anyway, y'all. But my parents, they always worked. They did have they did have hustle in them though. I saw my grandparents, they used to hustle a lot. But to make a long story short, I think by the time I was 18, I was selling crack, and I was selling a lot of crack. I think I started out selling breakdown nicks, and by the time I finally um I wanted to see how I wanted to say got stopped. By the time it was the end of my reign, I was finally I think I caught like a key and a half of cocaine. And my parents didn't know nothing about none of that type of behavior. They didn't participate like that, but it was something that it was a drive, it was a hustle, it was something that I thought that could get me where I wanted to be at based upon perception, basically like TV and music, listening to certain music, talking about certain things they had, and just desiring to have those type of things kind of set me on a mindset to where it was like a chaos.
Yeah.
So don't be discouraged when your kids kind of sometimes go off. You just keep praying and you keep talking and you keep loving. Yeah. And like I said, I know that a lot of people are not into astrology or numerology, but if you take the time, even your children, you'll have a guide. You'll know more about what you're dealing with than you do now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things we don't express and tell our parents. We keep a lot of stuff to ourselves. Our friends may know more about us than our parents sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think you really get to, unless you just, I don't know, because I know just me speaking as 42, and I never feel like I'm getting where I talk to my mama, but versus it's like she had a no nonsense about her. Like, so it's like, how can I talk to somebody who just gonna shut it down? So now, like, even though, and it's still because my kids, I have two air signs, Libra and Aquarius. They'll tell me all the time, like my Libra, he doesn't talk. He always been like that. But when he do talk, listen, because he's really saying something. But the Aquarius, she more silly, so unless she mad. When she calls herself mad, it's like she's like a fire, So it's like, girl, you got all the air in you. But anywho, but they have told me plenty of times, me doing my parenting, they were like, that's why I don't talk to you. I'm like, well, that's really on you if you don't talk to me, because I got an open door policy. Like when they was growing up, it used to be like, okay, this is the day we're gonna sit right here. We're gonna have a family day. Like whatever you want to say, try to keep it clean. I used to say it's a thin line, so don't get too lippy. And it was no cussing. You can't cuss. You know what I mean? So whatever you feel like saying, so it can help me better parenting parent them. Versus my mom, it's like, I raised you, I feed you. You have no say so in this house.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my God. But the crazy part, and that always stuck out in my head, is like, you don't want me to talk to him, but then you want me to go out there and talk to other people. It's like, my communication, again, with relationship, it starts in the house. Like, you don't have to me, you don't have to be like, oh, the talking back, that's zero tolerance. You feel me? But it's a better, like I tell my kids, it's a way for you to express yourself, or you won't, like I call it, a thin line. You won't step over that thin line. You know what I mean? But when I was growing up, and it was a silent generation. So it's like, baby, I feed you, I clothe you. You have no say so with nothing about nothing about nothing. But yeah, exactly. But it made me wonder, like, where did it change over? You know what I mean? And like I said, as I read on the internet, it's like this where it changed over. Like how we was raised, and we had a lot of time to sit at home. Yeah, we watch TV, but how many thinkers was at home as like latchkey kids. Like, I ain't gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, you know what I mean? So I remember one time I was on TANF, and during TANF we had to go to a parenting class. So the parenting class was like the lady, the coach who was in there, she said because I have had issues with me and my mom relationship. So she was like, sometimes a parent can only give you life. They can't do nothing else after they give you life. So it helped me relax, but it still was but she talked to my brothers, she get along with my brother, why not me? I'm the only girl. So it still had the thing, but it gave me a little breather, like not saying like mom do financially, hands down, she took care of it. Like, ain't nothing cut off. You might live in the projects here and there, but everything gonna be like spick and span. Do not play with her. Do not play with her. And cleaning her house. I don't care if she work all day. Her house gonna be clean. So there wasn't a problem. It was just by me being a counselor. I guess it was just like, why didn't she nourish and love me and see the way that I need nourish and loving? But now that I read it and by me being dealing with it for so long, I don't see a lot of ways that it'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. And to piggyback to astrology, because I've been playing with it a lot. When I seen what they call the Chiron is where your mother will come from your your mother, the parent, the parent. So when I seen, I was like, dang, this is my seventh or eighth house in its entirety. It blowed me. That's why it's good to know again your natal chart, because most people deal with the sun, the rising, and the moon. But once you get that natal chart, put your birth time and place at, oh my God. Once you do that, it's like,
Hey,
look at that.
sis.
When you should be like, hey, love bug. It's like, when you look at that, it broadens so much. Like, it broadens so much, and you could put a lot of stuff in perspective a little better. Like, okay, now I see why in this house why I act like this, in their house, and when they conjunction or opposite or sextile, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. And Fred had did something tonight that I didn't think she was gonna do. This is the second episode. She she revealed. I told y'all she talked. I told y'all that last year. She revealed. She revealed the job part, and I didn't think you was gonna do that yet, friend. I swear, I didn't think. No,
I just said I didn't want to do everything because I'm supposed to be writing a book, y'all.
you can still write a book. It's
I
still
guess
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
interesting.
talk and say it because when it comes to listening,
It's still gonna be an interesting book.
it is, y'all. I listen. It's gonna be interesting because I can't even believe I did some of the shit I did.
I'm telling you, I think half of the people in the world like, boy, back in my days, you'd be like, what the what? So
I know, right? So, and that's what's motivating us for this podcast is because we don't came a long way from
yes. Jenny
basically being basically being materialistic and on this plane being physically and materialistic attached to things on this realm. That was our first phase.
Yeah.
So then we had to go through a phase of cleansing and purging and losing everything, and then a spiritual shift took place. So the light is so much better. Yeah, kudos
guess
to
why?
us.
We did not come out that thing built like we all lost everything.
Oh no,
like
I will say it, y'all. I ain't gonna say no lie.
But
I ain't know how to live without having no money, y'all. I was so depressed.
I was sad, but I'm
gonna tell y'all the truth so y'all won't feel this. I was so fucking depressed when I lost all my money, y'all.
Yeah, in the beginning, you're gonna be mad because you're like,
I'm gonna tell y'all, I had to lock my hair up. Well, I ain't have to. But
you did
I
that?
locked my hair up because I did not have the money to go get my hair fixed anymore. So
Me too.
I
Me
said I would
too.
never shop at the Goodwill. And I ended up at the Goodwill store.
They have some nice stuff there though.
They do. That's one of my
Go to
favorite
a
places
Goodwill.
now, y'all.
They
Hey,
got some
listen,
nice stuff there.
one man's trash is another woman's
Exactly. They have some
treasure.
nice stuff there.
Yeah.
But guess what? That's how I lock my hair up.
Really?
The same way, because I had short hair and I couldn't get my braids anymore and I couldn't go to get my short hair done anymore. So all the while I knew I was gonna get locked, I just never knew when. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm locking it up. And when I came, I was in the West End. Mel was living in Harris home. When I came in the house, we had a function. Everybody looking at me like, what you do? You did it for real. So now people like, I'm gonna lock my hair up. I'm like, well, go on and lock it up. Yeah, at first I was thinking like, this baby, you're getting crazier and crazier and crazier. But it's like once you're going through transitions, you be like, I gotta do what I gotta do, because guess what? I think what I read it's survival. That's what the silent generation taught their kids too. When I read on the internet, how to survive no matter what.
Oh yeah, you know what? Because I had a friend that was a lot older, and I asked him. I said, some of the information that I found out when I was older is not the information that I was taught in school. So basically, a lot of things that we had to go through too was reprogramming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another phase, y'all, we're gonna have to go through. And it's just like a computer shit. The computers get reprogrammed, upgraded. Yes. So we have to too. Yes. So what the hell was I saying about it?
I don't know. But that's what, but be honest with the reprogramming stuff, that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, your brain is, look at it as like a database. So if you get a virus in your head, you got to get it out. Oh, yeah. And that could come with relationships.
Yeah.
And the type of relationship that you have with self. That's the first, even though your first relationship is in the home, but when you have a relationship with self, because what I used to tell my kids too is, why do they teach us to look outward and help everyone outward? And God is going to help us. It's like, now if everybody doing the same, is doing that, looking outward, like if you help them, then God gonna help you. If everybody doing it, how you gonna help everybody out at one time when you could just love yourself? I told my kids, go within, learn to love yourself, and be selflessly.
Okay.
And the crazy part is that's what was taught with our kids, the generation.
Oh yeah, that's what he was telling me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. But that's what he was saying, y'all. He was saying that they thought it was a good idea not to tell us certain information so that it could protect us. Because as you know, knowledge is power. Mm-hmm. So they felt like not letting us know certain things that, and being silent, that it would help prolong our life. And I was like, well, in actuality, it's like a handicap, because you guys, like, you left us kind of ignorant to a lot of stuff that we needed to know. But it's a time for everything. So as you see now, the children, the new babies that are being born, like I said, it's coming back to more awareness.
Yeah.
The internet.
But I think that comes with awareness with the parents. Because the more you're aware and the more you sprinkle on your kids, the more, like you said earlier, like, stay with your kids no matter what, even if they venture out, because it's planting the seed.
Yeah.
And if I got to go in there and sometimes help you clean your garden up to make sure it's flourishing great, I'm gonna do what I got to do, because it's different generations. You see what I'm saying? It's a different generations. Like our parents, they gave us like the beginning of the blueprint, but as the generations keep going and going, you add to the blueprint. You just keep adding to the blueprint. You just keep adding on and adding on.
That's right. I also want to share with you guys too, when we talked about some of our past hurts. Sexual abuse is very, very big in the homes. I don't know about, I'm quite sure now, but I do know back in the day, a lot of people have been affected by sexual abuse. and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. And that's also something that's a blockage in your life. Like when we have those pains and those things that we don't want to talk about, or those experiences that kind of, you know, we have to deal with that in order for us to grow and evolve. Because if we
Yeah.
don't, we just keep attracting, different things into our circle. That's only going to be like a reminder
Yeah,
of,
it lets you on to
yeah,
that. It lets you on some type of way to that unaddressed pain that you got.
yeah,
So it'll let you on to it, and it just grow until you'll end up seeing somebody like, "Dang, they folks just went just berserk, but they holding it in."
yeah.
You know what I
So,
mean?
well, that's one of them. What else is that
It
that happen a lot in the homes that a lot of people
um
don't want to talk about? But when you start to address these
abuse,
things, abuse, you know,
abuse.
um,
Yeah, because one of they typically be like the male, and when the dad be at home, he do the abusing. You know what I mean? You can abuse the mama to the point that you abuse the kids. You know what I mean? So it really throws off the whole house mentally. It just and it just keep going and keep going, and then you be fearful of leaving because if he grew up in some type of the generation where he take care of me, or I'm scared that he's gonna find me, he's gonna kill me. So it's like it's it's sad, but it has to be addressed to be like like I tell my kids, if you don't go seek help, try to find a way to help yourself, because a lot of people have to go seek help, and a lot of people be like, I think we're growing out of it now because we're addressing, we talk about it more. The thing with black people, it's like we ain't going no psychiatrist, ain't nothing wrong with us. We're not telling nobody our business, but I think we're growing out of it because now we can say it out on the forefront. You know what I mean? It's nothing to be like, what you mean talking about psychiatry? Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm straight. You know what I mean? But all around, you have issues that need to be addressed
yeah,
to help you move on
yeah.
Earth.
And if you don't have anybody that you could talk to, listen, that this is an alternative. Get your journal.
Mm-hmm.
Write it out. Write those feelings out. This is the thing. Once you get those thoughts out of your head,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to move things and shift things.
Yeah.
But as long as you kind of keep everything in your head, it stays in your head.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't want anybody to, yeah, write it down.
Yeah. And
Keep
the
your
crazy
journal.
part is when I was going through cleaning my headspace. Sometimes when because I'm just a thinker like that. Sometimes when I'm in a situation, my certain things, my big trigger was my mom. So certain things I always bring it trigger, and I'm addressing it. So sometimes I used to have to go outside and scream to just let it go. And I'm like, I'm releasing it. But I think I started dressing it inwardly, probably like, I'm gonna say about 8 years ago, and how long I had been holding it. So sometimes yourself be so familiar with it. That's why I like Buddhism. It be so familiar with it. It start living with it. It start sitting there. It's just a norm. It's like an arm, a leg, or something, but it's eternal. So I had to learn how to release it, even when it spiked back up. Oh, you thought I was gone? I'm not going nowhere. You know what I mean? Instead of saying like, this not working, it's not working. I'm journaling, I'm speaking to people, I'm doing this, and it's not working. I always remind myself is I tell myself what to do. Me and my brain work together, because if I don't have a brain, I'll be brain dead. If the brain is on the other side of me, the brain is dead. So it's just vice versa. So we have to learn to work together. And it's crazy because I really don't like to talk about the brain as if it's a person. You know what I mean? But most people be like, well, my brain told me da 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 da. Intuition. But all the time your brain tells you some fucked up shit too. That's what my favorite shit. I be singing it too when it start telling me fucked up shit. my mind playing tricks on me to get up boys. I'd be like, hell no, you is lying to me. And I was like, who lying to you? I was like, that must be you lying to self. And again, that's when I know like I still have issues that okay, you gotta work on it, but I got a better plan to be like, nah, hell no, he is not gonna trick me to go back that way. You know what I mean? So I try to keep myself aligned and focused and make my alignment and focus clear so I can be able to see. Cause the thing is, I ain't tap out unless I'm dead. So I always have a fighting chance. And that's where generation silent come in. No matter what, figure out a way.
Okay.
Figure out a way.
All right, guys. We want to thank you guys for coming
Don't
out
tell
to
me.
episode 2
I'm telling you.
of of Kim and Tia live on Friday.
Fridays. Look, I'm not gonna take Tab thing. That's her thing. Her chance.
What's Tab? Huh?
Tab. Tab to Brown. Fridays with Tab and Chance. But now I just told Jermaine that my friend could be here, but she is on her. When I tell you, Kodak said tunnel vision. This lady have a full tunnel vision. She could be going around her. She be like, what? What y'all talk about? You be like, how the hell you don't know Tab James? But okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's not.
Who are they? Okay, y'all. Thank you guys for coming out to episode 2. See you guys next Friday. What time we coming in? 8:00?
8.
We'll be here next Friday, 8:00. And you guys have is it a weekend?
Yeah, it's
Thanksgiving
Friday.
got me so though, y'all.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Even though I ain't do nothing, but I rest on my sofa bed yesterday and I watched TV.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Love y'all.
Kudos. We did it. Oh, we said